that actually look like? And Rachel, it got down to like 5.5. And I felt this surge of freedom and space and excitement. And I was like, look what I do to myself again and again and again. Most of us that are ambitious, too much stuff on our plate. And I think that's what you're talking about, is just like all these places having this mythology that we're being productive, and we're just stressing ourselves out. And it's like, no, no, no.
Yeah, or feeding that idea that if I feel busy all the time, it must mean that I am accomplishing all the time, which isn't really the same thing.
Yeah, we cannot confuse activity with accomplishment. That is a really, really big thing. And I think this time has shown us that, like being on that hamster wheel and feeling like a gerbil, like doing this constantly. And then like, where the hell did the year go? It's like, let's use this as a time to really pull back. I'm curious, how has it been for you in terms of your business and how you've just had to shift things in this extraordinary experience?
I mean, it's been so hard. It's been bizarre, really. Part of my burnout that I had last year is that I decided, actually a year and a half ago, that 2020 we put no group activities, no events, no tours, no workshops, no retreats on the schedule, which is what saved our business. If we would have had to, refund thousands of people that paid 16 months in advance, we would have been overnight. We wouldn't have had a business anymore, I think. So I feel now there's been so many divine moments of intervention for me. Like that burnout is the best thing that ever happened to me, that ever came my way, because it brought me to this place where we didn't have to cancel almost anything this year. It was already quiet, which is crazy. But we have, our local business here, we have a yoga studio we had to close, local employees that were completely out of a job, no revenue, no funds coming in. We lost people from the team, which has been the hardest part about this, kind of balancing the brick and mortar in person with the, thankfully we have this online platform that's keeping everything afloat. But I don't know. And at the same time, it's also been like, I can look at that now, the people that we had to part ways from were people who are, had other goals. Like, actually, I wanted to rise to this thing or this area. It kind of has felt very synchronistic in this bizarre sort of way. But yeah, I know we can't go back to what was. Do you think we should all, not just small business owners, but is May, like now where we are, is it a good time to pretend it's New Year's again? Should we reevaluate, write down new goals? What do you recommend? You're so good at this kind of structure.
I love this because, we can move so fast right through the year. And especially as we come now into May, it's like we're in the 5th month and there's momentum usually at this time. I think it's an excellent time to kind of reassess, take a look at, okay, what was I able to create until this point? What is working? And now that we've all had this great pause and there are challenging pieces and there are surprisingly enlightening pieces, how would I like the rest of this year to unfold? We have a Marie TV. It's completely free if you Google Marie Forleo Year in Review or Marie Forleo Decade in Review. There's a step-by-step process that will take you through to really leverage the lessons that you learned and then set yourself up. And we usually do this in December and January, but I think it's an awesome opportunity to do this now because the wheels are starting to turn again. Everyone's different, every different country, every different state. We're all kind of moving at different paces based on how infection rates are going, but we can all kind of feel, I think, on a spiritual level, like things are starting to move again. And I think now is an excellent time to not just articulate it and speak it, but write it down. This is one of the things, I think we talked about this on our interview that I write about in Everything is Figureoutable. You are 42% more likely to reach your goals if you simply write them down. And again, it sounds so simplistic.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yes.
Crazy.
But like for anything, if you're interested in just rejuvenating your health and your sense of balance, if there are creative goals that you want to reach, family goals, financial goals, career goals, business goals, writing them down and looking at them every day. I was actually just coaching Josh on this. He's a very different creative than I am. And we were working on it together because he's so smart. He's so intelligent. He's so successful. And yet he was not making a practice of looking at what he wants to create for himself, and it kind of got away from him, which again can happen for all of us. I just happen to do this for a living. But I do think it's a great idea to reassess and treat it kind of like New Year's, and like giving yourself these next months to go, okay, with intentionality, how do I want to create this next chapter of my life?
Oh, so powerful. Yeah, I feel really inspired to do that. So we Google Marie Forleo and year in review. We can do
Year
that
in
right
review,
now.
and you can do Marie Forleo decade in review. And we did kind of a 3-part series at the end of last year that was mining the gold from the past decade as we start into this new one. But either one of them will give you great exercises that you can do with yourself and your family and your loved ones, which I also think is another great conversation starter. You know, sometimes you're like, oh, what do we talk about today? And it's like, why not talk about your hopes and dreams and what you want to create? You know what I mean? And what you're working on, or what you're noodling on, or trying on for size. I think it's so, for many of us that work in the world of personal development and self-development, it can seem so normal. But I know for a lot of my other friends, they're like, I don't have anyone to talk with this about. Like my friend Chris Carr and I call it Dream Club. We go to Dream Club together. We're like, do you want to go to Dream Club? We're like, yeah, let's go to Dream Club. And we talk about our dreams. And we like, it's so fun because if she like trots something out that I just know her so well that I'm like, is that really your dream? Or she'll say the same thing for me, like, oh, wait, can we talk about this? And I'm like, yes, please. I want that feedback. I want someone who loves me to kind of mirror back to me what sounds maybe like I'm pushing out of ego versus something that's really true to my heart. So it can be awesome to do with your friends.
That's really beautiful. And I love that. Just the feeling of, I think we spent so many months now talking about what hasn't been working, what's been scary, what's been hard. Like there's been so many heavy conversations, just shifting that energetically a bit to, okay, like new times coming my way. What do I want to create? You know, especially if we have that blank kind of slate that so many people have. That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I want to join your dream club.
Yes, I think I was actually, I'm going to ask Chris because it's like a private thing, but I was like, I actually think that might be, I want to do it with people because it's such a beautiful space to be able to say, hey, for this little amount of time, let's dream. Let's tap into our creative power and our imagination to see things differently than they might be now, so we can build towards that in this really playful, joyful, energetic way that doesn't make what you have now wrong. It's just about taking the beauty of what is, whatever you're so grateful for, whatever you've built up into this point, and then saying, oh, how can we expand upon this? And expanding doesn't always mean more. You know, sometimes it means less. Like what you were saying with so many lessons that you learned last year, you're like, oh, what I want is actually more simplicity and more time at home and less things on my plate. So Dream Club can go in any direction you want, and that I think is the joy of it. You get to be the artist and the author of what you want to create for the next chapter of your future.
Oh, I'm so excited to do this right now. I'm like, I need to call someone up and talk about it.
Yay!
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thanks
can
for
you
joining me on the bathroom floor?
Of course. Is that your bathtub? Because it looks awesome.
Yeah. You want to see?
Yeah. Yes.
I have like a jungle. I literally have to move palm tree leaves out of the way to take a bath.
Well,
it's good.
It looks gorgeous. And thank you so much for having me on today. This is so awesome. You are such a bright light in this world. And for everyone listening, thanks for hanging out. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Marie. Thank you so much. Stay safe, and I hope to squeeze you in person soon.
Yes. Bye, everyone.
Bye.